Welcome back to Stuff About Money. I'm Xavier Angel, certified financial planner, and I'm joined today with Eric Garcia, certified financial planner. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good, man. How are you? Welcome back, by the way.
Well, hey, I would have been here last week if you wouldn't have recorded without me. But I'm just saying,
Well, I mean, you got to show up, man. Showing up is half the battle.
I was out working, so sometimes it happens that way.
Not me. I don't work, y'all. That's
Wait, I've got to go to work every day so that my girls aren't making the mistake of what we're talking about today. Talking about girl math.
girl math. Come on, man.
Hey,
You,
it is for those who don't know what
so
girl
you
math
hold on, how
is.
does you going to hold on? How does you going to work every day help your kid with math?
One of the things so girl math, right? It's
Girl
that
math.
latest, and I'm going to talk about it, but it's that latest
Yeah.
TikTok trend. Hold on, I'm getting there. So it's the latest TikTok trend where, and I'm using air quotes, for women are rationalizing their spending habits. So I'm going to work every day because
Mm-hmm.
the individual that actually started this whole trend of TikTok, right?
Because they're all spending your money.
She
They're all
the
they're all
wait,
they're all your girls are justifying silly purchases.
well, so
That's why you need to work.
the young lady, the 20-year-old who started it, right? So it started as a joke because of her financial stress that she was having. So yes, I am working so that my girls, my wife and my two daughters, they're not worried. They don't have that financial stress.
So they can buy Starbucks for free. All right. Hold on. Time out.
So let's talk about what girl math is.
Time out. Time out. First, I want to call. I'm gonna start off, and I don't want to be a fun killer here because I don't want to kill any fun. Okay, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. I call BS on girl math. All right, you know where the whole trend started on a radio talk show in New Zealand. It was a it was a segment where girls would call in and get the help of the radio host. I think it's still ongoing to justify their purchases. So we're going to get into that, but I'm going to call BS on this whole idea that like this is something that just girls do.
Oh, I'm there with you completely.
All right,
I
and I
think
don't want to. I don't want to. I got two two daughters. You have two daughters, and this idea that girls are bad at math is
it's crazy.
it's totally wrong. So I just want to come out and say that on the front end. So, ladies, if you're listening, statistically, you are as good as math as men. We know that it's factual. Um, and I don't want my daughters growing up thinking that just because they're girls, they can't do math.
So Eric, I want to throw this one out there since you did call BS and you just said, you just made that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I look at the SAT math scores
Mm-hmm.
from 1967 through 2016,
Yeah.
you know,
When you gonna say girls are actually better, or there's
no,
no statistical difference?
yeah, I was going to say there's really no statistical difference between girls
Here's
and
what's
boys.
interesting. This was a professor of sociology at Stanford. This is what she says. She goes, boys do not pursue mathematical activities at a higher rate than girls because they're better at mathematics. They do so at least in part because they think they're better. And there's some studies that go on to say that um, children from grades 2 to 11, there was no gender difference for math skills, no statistical difference in the genders. And then it goes on to say that while, let's see, hold on, that most of the differences when they look at countries where there's greater gender equality, you see scores and participation in STEM, the difference is a lot smaller. So what happens is we tell our girls that they're not good at math. Teachers bias boys at young ages.
Well, girls
Uh,
also tend to stay away from the math and the sciences. And
why?
I'm
Why? Well,
using
why
that,
is that? Why is
and
that?
I'm generally speaking because
Yeah.
I know that's not everyone, but
So,
generally speaking, girls wind up staying away from math and sciences, the STEM.
Yeah. So check this out. By grades 2 or 3, many girls lose confidence in math. Boys are more likely to say they're strong in math by second grade before any performance differences are evident. So even before there's any evidence that someone's better or worse, girls are already losing interest in math. By ages 13 to 17, only 11% of girls say they plan to pursue STEM career compared to 35% of boys. By eighth grade, girls are less likely than boys to have taken classes in engineering, 15% to 23%. And then by middle school, more than 90% of girls rate themselves as creative, and 72% say they want careers that will have positive impact in the world. However, only 37% of them rate STEM jobs as being creative. So like we're conditioning girls out of STEM, out of math, out of being good at math. We're making them believe they're not good at math.
So stop telling your girls they're not good at math or that the boys are better.
Okay. So this whole girl math trend,
That's my takeaway for today.
this whole girl math trend, we're gonna have fun with this. Okay. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh at some of these things. But I want you to think this is not techniques that girls use to justify buying things. We all do this math. And I've got some ideas that I've been thinking about. What are some ways, some silly things that I've done to justify purchases? As you're listening here, you're probably like, oh man, there's some justification that I've made in buying purchases. In fact, this morning, this was great. As I was doing some research on these stats about math and genders, a client of mine calls me. In fact, he texted me last night asking if he could call me with a business question. So we hop on the phone this morning. He goes, all right, I have a business question for you. There's this marketing thing I want to do. It's going to cost me $4,200 up front and then $200 a month for the next 5 years. Does it make sense for me to do it? So I tell him, well, it really would only cost you pennies a day if you pay for it over the next, 30 years. So it's practically free. So yeah, you should do it.
Jokingly saying that.
Yeah. All right. Can we hop into some of these girl math things? Are you gonna?
Yeah.
You're gonna drive.
So I think for our listeners, where this came up was you and I were having a conversation with a client, and as we were sitting down, one of the comments was, well, if I paid for this vacation months ago, then it's really free. And we kind of looked at her, and it's like, how is it that question came up? Well, tell me more about that. How is it free?
So already spent the money, and like money's been spent, right?
Right. And then to piggyback off of that, one of the other things that came out of this conversation was, well, I paid for it on a credit card, so I can pay for it later. And that look on your face, similar for those who aren't watching us on YouTube, Eric's got that look on his face where it's kind of a smile, but I can see those wheels are turning in his head. So
come on, man.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
I can put it on a credit card. I'm gonna pay for my trip, put it on a credit card, and it's free because I don't have to pay for it now.
One of the common ones is in fact, if you look up the I think the hashtag on TikTok is hashtag it's basically free, or hashtag girl math, and all these will come up. There's one that says, if I load my Starbucks card with cash when I buy my coffee, it's free.
It's free.
It's practically free. Or the best one was if I buy something from a store, so I buy something that's $100 from the store and I return it, and then I return it for something that only costs $90, I made $10. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on. So the purpose of our conversation today is, we want, especially our Gen Zers, right? We want you to really think about it. It's not free.
Gen Zers, anyone listening, if you're American.
Yes. But so think about this. Think about the math. If I pay for something today on a credit card for something in the future, it's not free. It's actually costing you more. And it's costing you more because of that interest that's accruing on whatever that product was that you purchased. I saw a lot of people this week this summer taking trips over to Europe, and I
Dropping
had a
money.
I had a
Dropping some.
conversation with one, and she and her boyfriend had purchased a trip to Greece, and they had gone to Greece, and she had put everything on a credit card, and it was, well, I don't have to pay for it until later, so I'm not spending any money today. But when we look at this credit card bill and the interest rates of anywhere from 18 to 24% that we're being hit with on interest, we're actually spending more for that trip than if we would have paid for it today.
I had a client, this is years and years and years ago. This is like one of my first ever financial planning clients. And she had some credit card debt, and she was coming to me asking me about getting out of debt. And it might have been like a Best Buy card or one of the big electronic stores, and she'd bought like a TV or a camera equipment or something, dropped like $2,000. We're like 3 years into it, and like the balance is now like 3,000. When I broke it down to her, I'm like, you got a good deal, right? You got a good deal. She goes, oh, the TV was on sale, the camera equipment is on sale. I'm like, you're still paying it at 25% interest. It wasn't a good deal. And so girl math is about stories that we tell ourselves to justify purchases. I go to a Saints game, okay? Drop however much on a Saints ticket. I'm there. I want a beer. Man, I don't want to pay $10 for Coors Light. Like, I could buy like six packs of Coors Light for $10. But hey, I'm at the game. Gotta have a beer, right? Not just one, but two. And it's part of the experience. So it's not. There's stories that we tell ourselves. There's one good one. So I don't know if you watch any of the videos of
I have
of the radio show. So these people call. They're all girl. The whole segment's called Girl Math for the girl. The girl calls and she says, "Hey, look, I bought a $699 blow dryer." So the radio host like, "You did what? $699?" So one of the girl hosts, her job is to help justify the purchase. So she says, "Is your hair thick or thin?" And she goes, "Thick." All right. So the average human head has 100 strands of hair. I'm going to say you have thick hair, so maybe you have 50,000. So they're trying to break it down per strand of hair, what the cost was. So one of the guy jumps in. He goes, no, hold on. How much would it be if you were to go to a salon and get a professionally hair, blown or whatever? $100. So like, how often will you use your blow dryer? 3 times a week. So it basically would cost you $15,000 to go to a hair salon to get your hair dried. Yep. All right. You only paid $699 for the hair dryer. So you're actually, I think what the number's like, you're actually making $14,333. Right? Just
the logic behind that. Yeah. So look, when we're making these purchases, and again, loosely girl math, everyone uses this to help themselves feel better about their purchases. So let's stop and think about what we're doing. To charge something is costing you more in the long run. We're spending money today.
How about this one? We've all done this. In fact, I was talking to a friend of mine who is a guy this morning. And because I was actually saying, hey, what's the best justification that you've made to buy something? So we're kicking around these things. His was, I have a boat now, so I need to go buy a truck. Right? Think about that one. And those are typically dudes making those decisions, and not just any truck. I need the the
one that helps you back up on its own, and
or the $90,000 truck to pull my boat that I pull once a quarter. Okay. Stories we tell. And I'm not saying I'm not against purchases. I'm not against buying Starbucks or against buying expensive trucks. But we got to get better at the stories we tell ourselves. The one he was telling me also was, he goes, yeah, I'll go buy something online. And like, if I spend $15 more, I get free shipping. So I would rather spend money on something that I don't need to get free shipping than just to pay the shipping.
I've got a friend of mine. True story here, right? I've got a friend of mine. He's currently looking at purchasing a truck. His
You're
justification,
not talking about me, are you?
I am talking about you, Eric.
Are you talking about me?
I am talking about you
Are you-
today.
So if you okay, so all right.
So look,
Man. Go for it. Okay, go
Eric's
for it. You just
go
call
for
me
it.
by name. Don't like. I'm not afraid. Come on.
So Eric's out there purchasing a truck, and it would be easy for him to come in and sit and make up an excuse on why he needs to go out there and purchase a brand new truck. He's thought about it probably a month and a half. He's thrown around some numbers. You know,
I'm thoughtful, Xavier.
What's that?
I'm thoughtful.
He is. So,
No,
but
I
this
am.
this goes
That's
to
me.
the point of why we're having this conversation today. Don't come up with stories to justify on why you're going to do something. I mean,
Hold
be
on.
honest. Be honest with
Time out.
yourself.
Time out. Are you like this whole girl math came up because of me?
No.
Are you saying
no.
I'm the one who inspired your girl math conversation?
I'm using you as an example on why you've been on how you're going about justifying purchasing a truck.
Hold on. Time out. Are you calling me out or congratulating me for not actually spending money on it?
I'm congratulating you.
Okay, I was confused.
No. I'm congratulating you. I'm
I was
congratulating you because now you've put all the facts out there on the table. You've looked at why you need this truck. And the reason why you need it is one.
I don't need a truck.
Well, you don't need a truck, but you
want a
need a
truck.
vehicle. You need a vehicle.
I do.
You need a vehicle because your daughter now, because she's, junior in high school, she's got all these activities. It's
Taking
hard
my
for you to
car
run
every day.
around. Yeah, she's taking your car. It's hard for you to run around every day.
Mhm.
Now, you very easily could have said, okay, well, that's the reason for my truck. I'm going out and buying a $90,000 truck. But because of a strategy that you know and goals that you have, long-term goals, you're being conservative on what you're going out there and purchasing and being thoughtful and purpose. You have purpose to what you want to go out there and do.
Yeah.
That's how we should make our decisions. Not coming up with excuses for why we're going to do something, but have purpose. See that? I was congratulating you.
I appreciate that, man. It didn't sound like it at first.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
Right. If you plan to go to the store and spend $100, and your daughter sent me this one, and I asked her permission if I could share some of the ones that she sent. But this is your kid, okay? So, see how much the kids of financial advisors know about money. If you plan to go to the store and spend $100, but there's a 50% discount, that means that I get to spend $50 somewhere else.
In my daughter's defense.
And that's why Xavier wasn't here to podcast with me, because he had to fund.
She was pulling your leg. So this whole conversation came by. My daughter sent Eric, myself, and Maureen, my wife, a text message. And she knew it would get under Eric. And that's why she sent it. And then it had this entire.
That's not why she sent it.
It was a
That's
three.
not why she sent it.
That is why she sent it. It was a 3-hour debate between the. I had to put my phone down and walk away. I actually went outside and cut the grass.
You went to go cut the grass? Why?
I cut the grass because I wasn't being a part of that conversation because I knew she was pulling your chain.
Seriously?
Seriously.
You don't think that she goes and spends anything under $5 and says, it's practically free?
She will never say it's practically free. This is the same person.
Yeah.
So
it was a joke. It was obviously a joke. She's actually fairly savvy with her money. In fact, if you ever listen to the end of our podcast, a little shout out to your daughter here. Mm-hmm. She's actually the voice that closes out our podcast. So I recommend you listen to the end of this podcast.
She's actually got her boyfriend investing money now on a regular basis and saving.
That's actually brilliant. So I'm not going to marry him until I know he has how big of a savings account?
Well, he's got to be financially secure.
All right. Cash is like little coupons.
I can't even respond to that one.
If you use cash, it's not like you're spending. It's like it's practically free. So here's a true one. I used to go work at coffee shops a lot. I love sitting in the coffee shop environment. If I had cash in my wallet, I hated parting with my cash. I would typically buy a small coffee or like a medium coffee, just black, nothing, just simple. It's a couple bucks back then. If I use my credit card, I would get like a latte and a muffin because there's that separation between swiping a card and actually parting with your money.
Are you saying we should all go back to cash?
No, I think no, we shouldn't go back to cash. In fact, this is actually a good conversation I have with a lot of clients about how do we teach our kids about money and cash? Should we use cash? I'm like, your kid is going to grow up in a environment, in a world that is digital, and you need to learn discipline with digital currency. I think teaching young kids about money early on, it's really good to have something tangible because they're incapable of thinking abstractly. So keeping coins around the house or something that represents money is important. But once your kid's able to start thinking abstractly, probably like age 7 or 8, then I think you need to start teaching them discipline of spending money. All right. This is one of the girl math phone calls. So a girl called, she wants to buy a dress and she needs help justifying the purchase of the dress. It wasn't a very expensive dress, but it was like $110. And she could have rented a dress for $110. So she said she'd probably wear the dress 3 times, $330. So they're like, okay, wear it 3 times. And that dress actually has resale value. So then you can sell it for $110 and you wore a free dress. You didn't wear a free dress. You actually made $110 in the end.
Did she pay for it with cash or credit?
I mean, if she paid with the cash, then she made even more money because she practically got the dress for free.
And if she paid for it on a card?
I don't know. It's
It's
basically
more expensive.
free.
More
Maybe.
expensive in the long run.
Maybe. What else we got? We have any more good girl math?
No other
math.
girl math.
Oh, here's a good one. Venmo is like play money. If you've got money in Venmo, it's not like it's practically free.
I did hear that one come up.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's crazy. And it's
But that's what we do. Again,
it's crazy and frustrating.
That's the stories that we tell ourselves to justify things. That's not girls. It's not that girls are bad at math. We want stuff. We desire stuff and we want to buy it. The whole, girl math trend is about like little petty things that, I say petty things, but things that stereotypically women are going to buy. But we can easily do this about any purchases. So think about the stories that you tell yourself when you buy stuff. You want something, buy it. Give yourself a good reason to buy it. And if you can't think of a good reason to buy it, don't buy it. Right? Like I spend money at coffee shops. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'll go there and I'll sit in a coffee shop, or I like good coffee. So it's something that I plan for. I'm going to spend money on this cup of coffee. I go to the Saints game and I'm like, you know what? I know I'm going to pay more for beer than I want to pay for bad beer, but it's part of the experience. I'm not going to try to justify it other than I want to do it.
Be purposeful in your spending.
All right.
That's what I'm going to leave everyone with.
Hashtag girl math. Girls, y'all are good at math. I call BS on it. Be thoughtful about how you spend your money. Hey, if you like what you hear here, share it with somebody else. Xavier and I are financial planners. We do help people make good decisions, just like the story I shared with my client. Actually, in the end, it was a good decision for him to spend the money. We talked about it not as an expense, but as an investment. And what was that return on investment on spending that money or investing that money? So be thoughtful when you make purchase decisions and make sure they're in line with your long-term values. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening.